This is you. Now, in many situations in life, you have three options. You can stand still, which is option 1. You can go left, which is option 2. Or you can go right, which is option 3. Now, let's assign these options. In the middle, option 1, this is stagnation. What does stagnation mean or include? It's passivity, it's doing nothing. Option 2 is active harm, which includes unhealthy habits, negative coping mechanisms. And then we have option 3, which is growth. Now, what does growth include? It's facing your fears, it's taking responsibility, it's taking a small step forward. Now, every time that you have to make a decision in life, you are presented with these three options. So this road, when you take option 2, for example, will ultimately lead again to another fork where you have once again option 1, option 2, or option 3. And if you take option 3, the path of growth, you are also again every time when you make a decision presented with the three options. Option 1, option 2, or option 3. Now, I'm gonna give some personal examples out of my own life to make this all even more clear. But first, I want to share a quote with you. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. Now, I'm gonna elaborate more on that quote in a minute. But let's dig into a couple of personal examples of making a decision and having these three options available to you. So if you've watched some other videos or listened to some other episodes, you might know that I used to struggle for years in the past with suicidal thoughts. Now, when I was having these suicidal thoughts for years, I was picking option 1 and 2. So I was mostly just living with the thoughts, passively not doing anything about them or moving myself forward to deal with them. Or I was picking the path of active harm by not expressing my own emotions, not sharing this with anyone, or by doing self-harm to myself. It's very human to choose for option 1 and option 2, and to do that even for many years, like I did, dealing with suicidal thoughts. We are not always presented with the best tools or resources to be there for ourselves, right? It's hard life, it's very hard, and choosing option 1 and 2 sometimes just seem like the only options there are. But at some point when I was living with those thoughts, I came to the point that, okay, no one is going to save me. I've got to do something myself. If you keep doing the same thing, you will continue having the same results very often. I made the decision, okay, the thing that I want to die will happen anyway at some point in my life. So why not see what else life could still give me if I would completely and fully commit to actually choosing for option 3, to see if I can grow, to see if I can get myself out of this hole. And in my case, that looked like leaving home and traveling for 3 years around the world on a journey of self-discovery, self-healing. Every time that you have to make a decision in life, you have another chance to choose. Slowly, more and more, I chose for option 3, to grow. When I was 28, I had a sudden cardiac arrest. Now, many people don't know what it is because it's very rare. My heart stopped when I was asleep. It changed my life completely. I suddenly had to take chronic medication. I went through quite a few surgeries. My brain was damaged. My heart was damaged. It all had to heal. I was dealing with so much fatigue. They placed an ICD in me, which is an internal defibrillator, so it can shock me if this would ever happen again. I got thrown a whole bunch of restrictions in my life that I never before that had to think about. But since I've gotten actually good at taking option 3, throughout those last years by just taking it way more and seeing the benefits of it, even if it is hard. When I was in the hospital recovering, I instantly went for option 3, the path of growth, the path of taking a small step forward to a better tomorrow. Now, let me share the quote again. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. Taking option 1 and 2, in the end, is the easy path. Now, I'm not saying that it's not the painful option, right? Because being in that situation and taking option 1 and 2 is beyond painful. When I was living with suicidal thoughts, I was deeply suffering every single day. But you gotta know that ultimately it will lead to a hard life, because it will continue to make your life miserable. You will continue to be unhappy and dissatisfied with your life. Option 3 is again the hard and difficult option to take, because it requires energy. It requires you to take full responsibility over your situation, whether you choose for it or not. If you didn't choose for it, it can feel like an even harder thing to take up the responsibility, because you didn't wish this, you didn't want that, whatever happened to you. Like with my cardiac arrest, I never in my life wanted that. It just happened. But yet I continue to pick option 3. Ultimately, it will lead to an easier life, because you will figure out how to deal better with your circumstances. You will find a solution, possibly. You will find new resources, tools to better handle it and to better be there for yourself, which again makes you as a human wiser and more equipped to handle other life challenges. Whenever you have to make a decision from now on in life, let this fork in the road, this illustration, this image come up in your head again, and visually see, okay, I gotta make a decision. Which path will I take? Draw this over on a piece of paper and hang it somewhere where you come often. You know, that could be on the fridge, that could be in your bedroom, on your desk where you work. Hang it somewhere so you can easily see the options that you have available to you in life when you need to make a decision. Now, let me introduce you to another tool that actually goes very beautifully together with this one, and I will connect them in a moment. So maybe you've heard of the cognitive triangle before. If not, then you're learning even more in this video. So the cognitive triangle consists out of thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Now, in general, it is said that thoughts come before feelings, and there's actually quite an easy way to sort of demonstrate that. So if I would ask you to feel sad now, like feel sad now, or to feel angry now, like feel that now, feel angry. It's very hard to do that unless you think about a moment where you were very sad or very angry. If, however, I would ask you to think about a penguin eating an ice cream, you can instantly do that. Again, thoughts come before feelings, and then feelings lead to possible behavior. So when you are making a decision and you picked option 2, you did something self-destructive again, or you've fallen into some unhealthy coping mechanism once again. You can actually use the cognitive triangle to analyze yourself, and with that, better understand yourself in the decision that you made. Let's say at work that your boss says to you, okay, this work that you delivered to me is not good. This is not acceptable. That might trigger a deep feeling of unworthiness in you, triggered by the thought that you are not good enough, because your boss says that. It kind of confirms to you like, okay, see, I am not good enough, which might lead to the behavior in this example, when you go back home, that you start drinking to reduce those feelings and those thoughts, to numb them. After the drinking the next day, you're like, why do I do this? I don't want to continue doing this. This is not helping me forward in any way. You can use the cognitive triangle to analyze your behavior so you can better understand yourself in the decisions, so the options on this path, this fork in the road that you made. Draw this on this illustration. Draw it next to your fork in the road. This, by the way, can not alone serve you, but also for your household, for your spouse, for your children, for anyone, your parents. It can actually also be very useful to explain this to them or to show this video, because they too can then catch themselves in the paths and the decisions that they're making and the options that they're choosing. Maybe there's a fight between you and your girlfriend and you run away from each other, and your girlfriend goes to the fridge where you have this drawing. She sees this on the fridge and she's like, okay, what path, what option do I want to take? Who do I want to be in life? And that visual cue might help her decide to take option 3, to walk up to you again to say, look, I'm sorry. Let's try to understand each other better here. As humans, we need reminders in life. The fork in the road, the cognitive triangle are beautiful cues to use to remind ourselves of the options that we have available and a way to better understand ourselves in the decisions that we have made. I really hope that you gained something out of this video and that it can possibly help you in your life. Let me know your thoughts, right? What you think of this video / episodes. I love to hear from viewers, from listeners, and I also try to reply to each comment. And if you liked this video / episode, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to possibly share it with anyone who might, well, also who could also use this information in their life. I hope that I get the chance to say hi to you again on another video / episode. Until then, see you.